Hello, I'm Maya. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I feel like ranting, so that's what I'm gonna do. So the other day I finished a show and I was like, if I could go back in time, what shows or movies would I audition for? Like if I knew that I would 100% book it, what would I audition for? So in other words, I'm gonna be talking about shows that I like and I wish I could have been in. So let's get started. Let me pull out my phone because I have like a whole note of shows. I have separated it into 4 different categories, not based on the genre of like the movies or the shows, but based on like the language and what they are. So I have English and then Spanish, and in English I have like shows and then movies, and in Spanish I also have like shows and movies. So they're all just separate, but they're like 4. So anyways, let's start with English shows because I feel like I tend to watch more shows than movies. The first one I have written down here is The Walking Dead, which I absolutely love so much. Not because I absolutely love zombies, but because the entire everything just seems so fun to be a part of. Like I don't know, like running around trying to run away from zombies, or like, I don't know, I just think that'd be such a fun thing to do. And like there's so many scenes that I'm just like, damn, that must have been so fun to film. I would have loved to be a part of. But not only that, but because I also feel like The Walking Dead isn't just about zombies. It's so much about how an apocalypse can completely change the way humans are and the way they treat each other. So I think that is such like an interesting concept to like, I don't know, to like break it down and be like, how would my character be like without this apocalypse, and how are they now, like what has changed and what has changed them. And I don't know, yeah, I think it's such an interesting topic, and I will literally rant about The Walking Dead for hours, and I mean hours on end, so I'm trying to keep it short, okay? Okay, not only the main show, which is The Walking Dead, but if you don't know, which I'm assuming a lot of people do already know, The Walking Dead has so many other shows and movies that revolve around it. Like it has Fear the Walking Dead or Beyond the Dead, I think. And then there's so many other like movies or like little spin-offs about specific characters. And it's just like this whole entire world. There's comics. I have like some of the comics here. And I also have like a bunch of books about zombies because I'm obsessed. But like I have a bunch of Walking Dead comics. If I were to also consider other Walking Dead shows, I would also pick Fear the Walking Dead. I love it so much. I don't know, just like out of all the other shows, I feel like Fear the Walking Dead is also the most like put together in a way. Like it just felt like all the actors were really, really good, and like the entire like show felt a little bit more like wow, like this is really cool. Also, another big thing about The Walking Dead, if you don't know, that all of the shows are kind of like connected. So there's characters that leave from one show and then they appear in the other show. And it's like, you see, it's kind of like a timeline. And it's just like, I think it's so like interesting, and you can watch them not at the same time, but you can start after a specific point. Like you can start the other shows, and if you continue watching them like basically at the same time, you can literally see like the connections between the shows and how cool they are, because like I love The Walking Dead. So that's definitely my top show I think I would have loved to be in. The entire world seems crazy to me, and I'm pretty sure they're like finishing up a bunch of stuff, but you know, it made me really sad. I was like, ugh. I started watching Fear the Walking Dead when I was like beginning high school, and I'm already in college, so like I've gone through a lot of years with The Walking Dead, and I don't know, like it just, it makes me so sad that I'm pretty sure they are finishing things up now, and anyways, whatever. Moving on, we can move on. Next is Prison Break. This is like a pretty old show, so I don't know if like everybody knows about it, but I'm assuming so. It's a pretty known show, I think. I don't know. Anyways, it's basically this guy that kind of like goes to prison, duh, and then he breaks out of prison. Prison break, duh. But it's like he's a mastermind, and like everything that he does is just so like, whoa. I just feel like there was so much thought put into the show, and like so much that kind of like revolved around it, and it's just like the entire thought process of the show is so interesting, and all of the characters have such like specific characterizations, and like they're so like, I don't know, they're so well developed. So I think that would have been a really fun show to be in, and to be a part of that entire like world. And anyways, next is Lost, which I think is, I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember when I watched it, I was like, wow, this is so cool, because like there was so much happening, and like so many things happen. I don't know, it seemed like a really interesting show, but I might not feel that way now that I have read it out loud, and I won't have that much to say about it. But it is a good show, or at least I found it a good show, although I actually never finished it. I think I have like a couple episodes left, because I have separation issues, and if I don't finish a show, it feels like there's still a part of me, and I won't like break my heart. So I haven't finished. Actually, I haven't finished any. Oh, I finished Prison Break. I still haven't finished any of the Walking Dead stuff, but I've been watching it for years. So moving on, Stranger Things. Stranger Things is so cool. I'm sure everyone at this point has watched it, and if you haven't watched it, then what are you doing? Go watch it right now. Again, all of the characters are so interesting. Like, you literally see them and they're like, they all stand out in their own ways, and I think that's really interesting. They're not just like, I don't think you can confuse them for other characters, you know? Like, they're very specific, and then all of their action scenes seem super interesting and super fun. And I have watched way too many behind the scenes like videos about every single one of these shows and movies that are on here. Maybe not every single one, but like a bunch of them. And Stranger Things is one of those. And like the sets and their costumes and everything is just, I feel like it would have been really fun. But I know they're on their last season, so I have no more chances. But I would have loved to. I would have loved, but no more of that. Yeah. Anyways, the next is 13 Reasons Why, which is a very sad and very rough show, I think I can say. Not that I think I can say, I can say. It's a very rough show. I also haven't finished watching it. But I think that a really big thing for me when it comes to acting and for like shows and movies and everything is the fact that you can spread so many good messages through such a big type of like, what's the word? Oh my god. Like through something so big, like a show or a movie. And you can spread it either really well or really bad. And I think we look at, just happened recently, It Ends With Us, and their promo was horrid. I'm so sorry, except for like one person that did it right, but I'm not gonna even go into that. But their promotion for the movie was really bad, and they had this amazing opportunity to spread so much awareness of all of these issues that happen in real life, and they're still ongoing, but they didn't use it. And I feel like by doing a show like this, where they do talk about actual issues, you can spread so much like positivity and so much more like connection and stuff. And like, I just think that it's a really great chance that you get. But at the same time, I know that a lot of people make fun of this show, and a lot of people go around like, this is my 13th reason, and like, it's funny. But like, either way, I'm sure that this show has also helped so many people understand that they're not alone in feeling what they're feeling. And I think that is such an important thing to share, like to make people understand that they're not alone and that they're not the only people that feel this way. Yeah. The next one is Queen's Gambit. Because I love Anya Taylor-Joy so much, which I remember when Queen's Gambit was like a big thing, and it like kind of like came out and everyone was talking about it. I remember so many people telling me that I looked like her. I don't know if I look like her anymore, but I remember back then I did, and like people still tell me that I do have some similarities with her. And all I'm saying is I would love to act like, I don't know, her younger self or her daughter. I don't know what would work. But either way, like her younger self, that'd be cool. I would love to do that. So Anya Taylor-Joy, if for some reason you're watching this and you're like, oh wow, this girl really does look like me, and you know that you need somebody to act as younger you, call me up. I would put my phone number, but I'm not gonna do that. So just, I don't know, find my Instagram. Have I begged enough? Have I begged enough? This show just felt like such like a masterpiece. Like everything that was going on was just like, wow. And the way that they use like illusions and like, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Period. Moving on. This is a really good one. This is a really, really good one. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I love it so much. I read the books first, and then I watched the show. Yeah, like the first season that has come out. And obviously, I think the books are better, but the show is still really, really good. And I remember when I was reading the books, I was like, oh my god, I would love to be Pip. I would love to like act as Pip. I think that'd be such an interesting role. And the show was announced, and my heart was broken, but then also like stitched back up because I was really excited for it. But I don't know, just like the book series, and I mean, if you've read it, the ending is crazy. And that last season, I'm so excited for it, and I really would have liked to be a part of that one. Like, it's just, she goes on such adventures. Anyways, if you don't know what the show is, because I'm not sure if it's super known apart from like the book community, I guess. So basically, it's about this girl who, when she was younger, there were these murders in her town, and she has to do like a high school project to graduate high school. So her project is to actually prove that the guy who was accused guilty isn't actually guilty. So it's just her process, and she just goes on to like discover all of these things, and she becomes like she's really good. And the book is just like, honestly, really confusing. I was really confused, but it also like makes sense, and you like read it and you're like, oh yeah, and like you try to guess, but like you're wrong. At least I was wrong. I was wrong. But like, you think it's not gonna get more interesting? Not really, no. You think that it can get worse, and it gets worse, and like it's such an interesting build-up. And anyways, the show is really interesting. I just would have loved to be Pip. That's kind of it. Now, the last thing I have written down here before my battery dies, because it's about to die, is The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I know some people hate it, some people love it. I think it's such a cute show, and you cannot convince me that, I don't know, that you can't convince me to not like it. I don't think. I like it, it's cute. I love the summer vibes, so I think it'd be really fun to like be on the beach all summer, be swimming all summer, get to like wear cute clothing all summer and like be filming, and it just feels like such a fun environment, and they're all like such good friends. I would have loved to do that. But yeah, let me change my battery and I'll be back. Next are English movies. So the first one I have written down is Enola Holmes, because I don't know, I feel like action movies would be super fun to do, but also like older like era type of movies are so interesting to me. I feel like the costumes would be so fun. Really annoying to wear all day, but really fun, and like you'd get some really cool pictures out of that and like really cool memories, I think. So I would have liked that. Also, like, Millie Bobby Brown is amazing, which she's also in Stranger Things. I don't know why I didn't mention it before, but she's really cool. And, you know, so is Louis Partridge. Next is Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I started watching Harry Potter. Oh my god. Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. I started watching it when I was a kid. I was probably like, I think I was 5 actually, which is a little crazy to start watching it then, but I did, and I used to love it. And I knew the movies, like I knew every single movie, but I didn't know the titles of the movie. So I would just like go up to my parents and be like, hey, can I watch this like Harry Potter movie? It's like where they do this and like that, and my parents would be like, what? And then just from the beginning, I would know if it was the right movie or not. Right from the beginning, I would be like, yeah, it's not this one. And my parents would be like, oh, well, I don't know which one it is, so you, like, suck it up. And I would be like, okay, fine, whatever. Not like that, but, like, kind of like that. And I just love it. I don't think I've ever actually fully watched them in English, though, because I grew up watching them in Spanish, so yeah. But I feel like they would have been really fun shows to do, like, really fun movies to do. Like, there's so much world to it, and I don't know. Their friendship also is like, it was really cute. Next is Scooby-doo, because again, I used to watch it as a kid and I used to act like the characters, and I think that was the moment where I was like, ooh, acting. And then I was like, no. And then I kind of like went back to acting. Anyways, long story, but I used to watch Scooby-Doo and I used to act like the characters, and I was like, oh my god, I would love to be Daphne. So yeah, I think that'd be really fun. And I specifically used to watch, well, I used to watch the animations, but at one point, there's like a few live movies, I think. And I remember I used to watch the one where they go into like an island and it's like haunted or whatever, like for vacation. I'll figure out the name, but like, yeah, I used to watch that one a lot. Like I have scenes like in my brain, just like, and sometimes I just think about them. Next, The Hunger Games. Need I say more? Must I say more? Like, The Hunger Games. It's just amazing. I actually watched the movies first, and then I read the books, and then I rewatched the movies, and I love every single bit of it. I think Katniss would have been so fun to play. Like, she's such an interesting character, but at the same time I love Jennifer Lawrence, so I don't think I would like to take that role from her, because she did so well, but it would have been really fun. And I love Pita, so anyways, really fun. Next is also comes from a book, Divergent, which I feel like they're very related. They're very like dystopian worlds, you know, like action based, but Divergent would be super fun to do. And I remember I actually read the books first and then I watched the movies, and I watched the movies not to say I was fully disappointed, but it definitely wasn't what I imagined, and I thought that they could have had so much more fun with how they made it. And it just felt very like, you know, and not super like, I don't know how to explain it. I just had a different idea, and I felt like my idea was funner. I'm joking, I love Divergent, but I like the books better than the movies, that's for sure. The next is Scream. The typical Scream movies, but not every single one of them. I feel like the middle ones get just like super annoying because it's just the same thing over and over again, and you do not need to make that many movies about it. The first original movie, perfect, great, love it. And then the last one with Jenna Ortega, I liked it. I had fun with it, and I kind of ramped things up. Not ramped them up fully, but like it kind of like did like a little like 360, but like I don't think it was a 360, but like I don't know, I watched it a long time ago, but it felt like it kind of like closed something off, but like I don't know if it fully did, but whatever. I felt like those two movies, really cool. The first one is the better one, I think. The OG is the best, but the new one, I had fun with it. I liked it, and I think it would have been also really fun to make, because like the cinematography of it was much more modern, obviously. I think it would have been fun. I think scary movies in general would be really fun to do. The last movie I have here for English is 10 Things I Hate About You. It's just such a cute movie, and I love it. I love rom-coms. I feel like there's so many other stuff that I could have put in here, but I made this list and I was like, this is all I can think about, and I kind of just like didn't go over it again. But you know, there's so many other movies like 10 Things I Hate About You that I think would be super cute and super fun to do. But I don't know, just 10 Things I Hate About You. I love the little poem scene. I think we've all seen it. Like, I hate the way you... Oh. Anyways. Moving on. Actually, I don't have very many Spanish movies written down, so I think I'll just talk about the Spanish shows, and that's kind of it. For Spanish shows, I have La Casa de Papel, which is Money Heist. Is that how you say it? Money Heist? Money Heist? Whatever. But it's that one. I think we all know about it. It literally blew up. It just became like such a big show, and everybody knew about it. And I think it was for such a good reason. Like, it is such a good show. I haven't finished watching it again, but what I have watched, it's super interesting, and like all of the thought process behind it, amazing. But also, must I add that there are so many good Spanish movies and shows. Like, I don't know, Spain has some amazing shows and some amazing movies because they have like really, really good writers, and they just like develop them really well, and I'm amazed every single time that I watch them, because I'm like, wow. You know, I remember growing up with like Spanish movies and shows, but they were like comedies, so it was like, yeah, they're really good and the script is really good, but like some of the shows now are like, my voice said something weird there, but they're like deep and like still funny and nice and like very comfortable, and I don't know, I really like them. Next, Ni Una Más, which is the reason why I started this video, because okay, in English it's called Raising Voices, which is basically about this girl who, actually I'm not going to describe it in this video, but she goes through some really tough stuff, but she like stands up for herself, and she like continues to fight for what she thinks is right to do, and it really inspired me, and I was like, oh, I love these type of shows. Like, I love it because it's such a strong message, and again, going back to 13 Reasons Why, you can literally spread so many good messages through like movies and shows, and I think it's so important for you to do that. And yeah, anyways, yeah. The next one is El Barco, which the translation, I don't know what the direct translation of the show is, but I'm guessing it's something like the boat or something like that. the show is literally on a boat for like almost entire show, but it's like the world kind of like collapses and there's so much stuff going on. I don't know, it's really nice. Again, the characters are really, really interesting. I also feel like the set would have been really fun to do. I also watched some of the behind the scenes, and like some of the scenes they were so elaborate because again, they're on a boat, so they have to kind of like recreate what it would be like to be on a boat, but through a set. So I think that'd be really cool and interesting. But again, it's a very old show, so you know, the cinematography isn't always the best, but it was really good. I really liked it. The story was crazy. I was like, I love it. So great. The next one is internado, which is like the boarding school. I don't know what the title is in English again, but there are basically two shows, because there's one which is like an older version, and then another one which is they made like a new version with like different characters, but like kind of like the same thing, but it's not the same thing and it's not that good. And Internado, the old one, was like, it was so good. I don't think I finished watching it, but I really enjoyed what I did watch, and I watched like a lot of it, so I really liked it. I think there's like so much like mystery, and it's like a thriller, and they like go and like discover things, and I don't know, I think it would have been really interesting to be a part of. So the next one is Entrevias, which the translation for the show is Wrong Side of the Tracks. I feel like I haven't watched it in English. I don't know what the English version of it is like, but I know that in Spanish it is, first off, hilarious, but also there are so many like, there's so much drama and so much like tension, and they do talk about some really heavy topics in the show, but they do it in like a very like easy way. Like they don't like force you to feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but they don't force you into like feeling like right away. No, that's not fully true. Like they're kind of like, they don't just throw it full on force at you. It's like they're easy, like they kind of like ease into it, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm probably wrong. But either way, I feel like the show is really funny. Again, characters super strong in the show. Like you can literally like look at them, and I could go and try and like find other like stuff and other characters, and I could be like, oh, that reminds me of this one character in this specific show. Like that's how specific they are. And like yeah, it's just, I don't know if that makes sense, but they're very specific and I really love them. So yeah. And then the next one is Velvet, which is like a fashion design sort of like show. They do like a bunch of like clothing and whatnot, and like there's relationships between the people, but anyways, I really liked it. There's like drama and like stuff, and really cute, and not super cute at the same time. I liked it. And apart from this, they also have like, it's Velvet Collection, so I think they have like a second show, I'm pretty sure, which is like related to it. And like I remember when I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, and like I was really involved in it. And I think also their outfits are adorable, because it was like a bit like, the show is set like a while ago, not a while ago, like some time ago, so they had like really cool like fashion. And yeah, also I love the cars of like shows that are like older like that, because it's like they're so cool, and I feel like I would love to have filmed in some of those. Yeah. And then other like Spanish shows which I haven't written down would be like any shows that I grew up watching. Like I don't know, like there's a bunch of Disney like shows that I feel like would have been super fun, but at the same time not really, because working as a child doesn't seem super fun during Disney shows. Like in shows that are targeted for children, I just feel like the environments aren't always very good. That's kind of it. I don't watch a lot of Spanish movies, but I'm sure there's so many good ones out there. I tend to watch Spanish shows more because honestly I just watch more shows than movies in general, but because I also watch them with my parents and we tend to watch more shows so that we can like watch an episode like a day, so then like it's kind of like stretched out and we know what to watch for longer periods of time. But yeah, again, there's so much other stuff that I would love to be in. There's so many actions movies or like comedy, like comedies are super fun, like Full House or Friends. I think those are super fun. Like Brooklyn 99 maybe, or Modern Family. I love Modern Family. But anyways, I could rant on and on about these shows, but I think I can move on and I can kind of call it a day. If you guys could choose any show or any movie, what would you choose? Let me know, because I would love to hear it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that I didn't ramble too much to an like annoying amount. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Come back next week for more, and I post like shorts on here, so definitely watch out for them. They're coming, like Halloween ones are coming up soon, so I think that'll be really fun. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked my little ramble. So bye bye, have a good one.